Good morning, good morning, everyone. I am Dr. Franco Taylor. I am the health evangelist. I like that. I've been a health evangelist now for almost 42 years, teaching the gospel of health. That's right. Believe it or not, we can find health right in the Bible. The health that Sankey preaches. That's why Sankey, you can get sanctified. All right. Yeah, there's some sanctification that comes with being a part of our company. And we're going to talk about that to you right about now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. And most of you out there know that a bit ago, I didn't have a clue as to how to use this technology. And because of most of you, Dr. Ruth Ann in particular, who has worked with me like the daughter that she is, and she's taught me how to get on top of this thing, how to literally use the media. And I'm thankful for that. And so what we're going to talk about this morning, please, 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 you got a few moments, call someone else, text someone, email someone, and tell them to get on this morning's medical moment. We're going to be talking about something that's so profound, so powerful. Sankey is not just a company with some products, some motions and some potions and lotions. No, 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 no. They are the company with the formulas, the only formulas that can help the body actually heal itself. There's no other out there that can touch what we do. And I'll talk about why that's so important in just a moment. But call someone up, text someone that you love, tell them to get on this call because this will be a life-changing call. I promise you. You will find out why we are sick, why we have these diseases, what diseases, get it? Diseases. You'll find out why we're sick and tired of being sick and tired. So again, if you love them, even if you don't love them, you just like them a little bit. Even your enemies ought to know about this. Get them on this call. And we're going to start here right about now. We're going to be talking about the prescriptions from the great physician. That's right, RX, okay? Prescription from the great physician. The 8 laws of health, the 8 natural laws of health. I think I'll put that in there next time. It'll say the 8 natural laws of health. And they can be found in the Bible. And the Bible is the greatest medical book ever written. In Psalm 100, verse 3, in the King James Version, it says, "Know ye that the Lord, he is God. He is our creator. It is he that hath made us." Think about that. "And not we ourselves. We are his people and the sheep of his pasture." So you got to know whose you are before you can go forward. You must know whose you are and that you were created by the creator himself, by the master of the worlds, of the universe as we know it. He did that. And he placed information in the owner's manual, like in all wonderful machinery that's put together, all these beautiful cars. They got $400,000 cars. Okay. These cars have an owner's manual in the dash there. And you can pick up that owner's manual and read it and find out how your machine is supposed to work. Well, since God created our bodies, he also gave us an owner's manual, and it was called the Bible. So let's look at the prescriptions that God gave us, okay? As we can see here, there are 8 prescriptions, and the scripture in Psalm 119:73 says, "Thy hands have fashioned me and made me. Give me understanding, and I shall keep thy commandments." Well, I'm not giving you the 10 commandments. I'm giving you 8 commands or 8 prescriptions from God that will keep you healthy, okay? And as you can see there, it's the Bibleway. It spells the Bible way. That's a manuscript that God blessed me to put together that's being elongated, that's my word, into a book now. But what we want to do is these are 8 prescriptions. It takes a little while to give them to you. The best food and combinations, intake of plenty of water, being temperate. You must not overdo things, get lots of rest and sleep. These are prescriptions that if you start practicing them today, by this time next week, most of the sicknesses and diseases in your body will have gotten better. Are you listening to me? I didn't say you'd be wholly well. Some of you will, but a good deal of you, you would be so much better, it would scare you. Lots of rest and sleep. E is exercise daily. Wonderful sunshine. You know, the sunshine gives you vitamin D, air fresh and clean. That's the first mineral that God gave us. He gave us oxygen. That was the first vitamin, oxygen. He breathed into our nostrils the breath of life. And then it says, yield to God's will always. You always need to pray and ask God to give you the strength to make changes such as eating better, drinking better, exercising, getting your rest, slowing down whatever you do, getting sunshine, fresh air. You need help getting that. And as you can see, each one of these has a scripture to go with it because these are biblical prescriptions from God. I just want to take a minute to talk to you about that. Again, I'm Dr. Franco Taylor, the medical director here at Sankey Global USA. And what we're going to look at today are just the first two. We don't have for all of them, but I think you would enjoy those first two. And I'm going to give you another scripture. Again, those were the 8 prescriptions for health. But I want you to see this. 1 Corinthians 10:31 says exactly this. It says, and this is God talking, okay? Whether ye eat or drink or whatever ye do, do all to the glory of God. So God is saying, I want you to do everything for my sake. Do it my way. Make me happy so I can bless you. But I do want you to remember that these first two, whether you're eating or drinking, he sort of put it all together in eating or drinking. I wonder why. That must be important. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk to you about those first two prescriptions, those first two natural prescriptions from God, all right? So the basis of health. What is the basis of health? I've talked to you about this many times. Exodus 15:26 says, if you will diligently hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, and will do that which is right in his sight, and will give ear to his commandments, not just the 10, but all of his commandments. It says, and will keep all his statutes, and will put none of these diseases upon thee, which I have brought upon the Egyptians. For I am the Lord that healeth thee. And if I have time, I can tell you, they literally have a group of people that are called paleo or palin pathologists. And what they do is they have dug up those mummified ruins of King Tut and Nefertiti, all these different pharaohs from back in the past. They dug them up, and some of those ruins were still there. Some of those mummified ruins were there, and they put some of this new stuff, this new scientific juice on them, and they can tell what these people actually died of. And they found that they died of cancer, high blood pressure, diabetes, even arthritis. Are y'all listening to me? Wow, and one day I'll show you in the scripture people who had those diseases. But again, it says that if you will be diligent, if you'll be diligent to my commands, even the natural two that I'm going to show you in a minute, he says, I will put none of these diseases upon you. Okay, so let's just look. What is disease? The Bible tells you, but it shall come to pass if thou will not hearken unto my word and keep all my statutes. He says, I'll let all these diseases, all these curses come upon thee. So again, health is obedience to God's commands, and disease is the result of disobeying those laws, both natural and spiritual. Let's take a peek. This is a picture I want you all to see. This is all about sickness. It says that heredity loads the gun. You may have some genes from your family members, okay, that lean you in the direction of weak blood vessels or something of that nature. Okay, that might be true. I'm not knocking that. But it's lifestyle that's holding this heredity, and it's lifestyle that pulls the trigger. You see, you've got heredity, and then you've got lifestyle. I want you to look carefully, and you're going to see a bullet come out of there. Watch carefully. Heredity loads the gun, but lifestyle pulls the trigger. Did you see that bullet shoot across? It's simply saying that that's what makes us sick. Heredity starts it, but it's lifestyle, the way we eat and the way we drink, that sets us up for sickness. So the Bible way, you see them there again: best food and combinations, intake of plenty of water, being temperate, lots of rest and sleep, exercise daily, wonderful sunshine, air fresh and clean, yield to God's will always. I can't impress upon you enough that these 8 will change your lifestyle. And take a picture of this, okay? Click it, do whatever you call that deal. Take it on your phone and look at this daily. If you'll just do these simple free prescriptions and then add to that the Sankey formulas, you can't lose with the stuff we use. So this is the Bible way for the preservation and restoration of health. We're going to talk about those first two. Best food and combinations is the first one. And you see here, you see some best food, okay? And I want you all to know, I tell you this all the time, eating foods with a face is not God's design for the human race. Are y'all looking at that? Eating food with a face is not God's design for the human race. You know, a lot of children are eating steak and burger, and didn't know that it came from a cow? You look that cow in the eye, and then later on the night, you eat a big T-bone steak that came out of the backside or the left side of his rib. Folks, are y'all paying attention to this? Eating something dead to have life? Animal diseases that threaten health. I want y'all to look at these. You've got E. coli, Listeria, Salmonella, bovine leukemia virus, okay, cow AIDS, cancer, Campylobacter, Crohn's. These are diseases that threaten our health, and they're based on animals, okay? Are you paying attention to me? Other diseases associated with handling of animals: multiple myeloma, Paget's disease, melanomas, lymphomas, stomach cancer, prostate cancer, Hodgkin's disease, leukemia. Are you paying attention, folks? Some more diseases associated with animal product exposure, the cheeses and the eggs and the milk and so forth. You got trichinosis. You know, you've heard of those deadly worms that are found inside of the hog flesh. You've got psittacosis, hookworm, rabies, leptospirosis, cholera, anthrax. Are you listening, folks? Fish tapeworms, hookworms, roundworms, pinworms. All these come from eating animals. You got the hantavirus, roundworm, brucellosis, pork tapeworm, beef tapeworm, ringworm, cryptosporidiosis. Folks, all of these are parasites, germs, worms that literally come from eating meat. Again, eating flesh foods increases disease 10 times more in human beings. Are you listening to me? 10 times more in human beings. There are those who ought to be awake to the dangers of meat eating who are still eating the flesh of animals, thus endangering the physical, mental, and spiritual health. Many who are now only half converted on the question of meat eating will go from God's people to walk no more with them. People are dropping dead every day. Heart attacks, strokes, cancer, diabetes, and even those, the Cancer Society, Heart Foundation, all of those leading people will tell you that meat eating has a lot to do about why you're having these diseases, and that if we would cut out and go to a plant-based diet, stop eating the meat and go to a plant-based diet, all those diseases would go away. They even tell you this. Are you listening? Are you listening? Cancers, tumors, and pulmonary diseases are largely caused by meat eating. That looks good, doesn't it? You know that animals, literally within 3 days, an animal won't eat another animal after 3 days. If it's been dead for 3 days, he won't eat it. But look at these steaks sitting here in those packages in the butcher's shelf. You don't know how long it's been dead. Let's say this one steak right here. If this steak doesn't sell today, do you think they throw it away? No, they put it in the refrigerator, they bring it back out, and they'll put it there tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, until they sell it. So if an animal won't eat another animal flesh after 3 days, why would you eat something that's 9, 10, 15, maybe 30, 40 days old? Because it's been in the freezer and it's been in the refrigerator. Again, we're talking about the liability to take disease is increased tenfold by meat eating. It is the greatest disease breeder going on. This COVID-19 that we're talking about started when someone ate from a wet market in China. They have all kinds of animals in there, from panda bears to kangaroos to rats to monkeys to bats, and someone ate from that wet market, and it started COVID all around the world. Look at where we are now, folks. We've got to do this. We've got to wear these masks everywhere, and we'll be wearing these masks for years to come. Used to be a time if you walked in a bank with a mask on, there would be 30 police there in no time. Now, if you walk in without a mask, they'll put the police on. Y'all paying attention to what is happening here? So again, we're talking about eating animals. Contaminated fish, folks. Oh, I eat fish. I eat clean. Oh, yeah, right. Well, these fish are most times, they go to the shore to do what? Lay their eggs. And while they're there, they eat the food right there at the shore that comes from all these contaminated plants and warehouses and industrial places, okay? So they eat all of this waste and disease. They swim out into the clean waters, the fresh waters, the pure waters, and that's where they're caught. So you say, man, I eat freshwater fish. Yeah, but where do they lay their eggs? Where do they eat? Around the shore. Are you paying attention to this? You eat them, and when you use these as food, they bring disease and death on those who do not even suspect the danger. Again, just want you to see some pictures, just trying to wake you up. That tune that we listened to this morning said, no more backward thinking, time for thinking ahead. What kind of picture is this? Here's a man drinking milk. Now, of course, he's not under the cow, but you know what I'm saying. But the cow doesn't even do that. After a calf gets a few months old, he stops drinking milk from his mother and he goes and eats grass and drink water. Don't you think he knows what he needs? If he needed the milk, what about the big bull? If grown men are eating it to be drinking milk to be strong, don't you think the bull would? If this calf was to go over and try to get milk at his age, his mother would kick him in the face because that's not what he needs. Folks, pay attention, pay attention. You even got your children drinking milk. Are you paying attention to this? Human beings are the only species to drink the milk of another species and the only species to drink beyond infancy. Milk is just meant to help you double and triple your weight in the first few months of life. After that, you need to eat. That's when your teeth are growing. When you first start drinking mother's milk as a baby, you don't have teeth. You don't eat until you have teeth. People, are you paying attention? Please hear this. This is so important. So, milk sensitivity disorders. We're going to run through these, and you can always get in touch with us to get this particular video and find out about these. But these are disorders that come from drinking milk. Chronic fatigue, tension headache, musculoskeletal pain, these arthritis type, mucus type things. Itis means inflammation of. Inflammation is mucus. So you're getting mucus. One of the most mucus causing foods on the planet is milk, cheese, cheese. They cause mucus. As soon as you get through drinking, you got all this mucus, eating your ice cream and so forth. Hyperactivity caused by what? Milk drinking. Bedwetting caused by milk drinking. Aggravation of allergies and congestion, asthma, and other respiratory difficulties. Major childhood health concerns related to using cow's milk, allergies, iron deficiency, lowered intelligence, milk sensitivity, early atherosclerosis, juvenile diabetes, acne, dental decay, infectious diseases. Major adult concerns related to using cow's milk, coronary artery disease. Milk is loaded with what? Butter, fat. What causes our heart problems? You know what it is. It's cholesterol, it's grease, it's fat. And basically it comes from eating animals. Good cholesterol comes from eating broccoli and cauliflower and cabbage and kale and eating fruits and vegetables. Are y'all listening to me? But coronary artery disease, cancer, neurologic disease, that's brain damage, not being able to think, not having memory, not having your cognitive reasoning anymore, allergies, all kinds of allergies from the mucus that comes from drinking milk, digestive problems, where your microbiome and your microbiota, your colon, from your mouth to your anus, is the largest organs of digestion and elimination. And they're so busy eating all this garbage you put in, all this dead stuff, that you begin to get sick. Infectious diseases. Refined foods cause constipation, increase the acid levels in the body, and deprive the body of vitamins and minerals. You see all this stuff going around in your colon that doesn't belong there, it clogs your poor colon up. And I've got more stuff as we go forward for you to see and understand the simplicity of life, how easy it would be for you to start getting healthy by simply following a good daily regimen and adding the Sankey formulas. And we're coming to an end, but I want you to see this. It's so important. Cheese, we love cheese. Cheese should never be introduced into the stomach. Cheese is still more objectionable. It is wholly unfit for food. Oh boy, you know how cheese stretches, then it sticks back together? That's the same way it does in your stomach. Once it's heated to 350 degrees, it stretches, it melts. But when it's room temperature, it's hard. It's the same way in your stomach, and it sticks all else that comes to it in there. So all the meat, all the bread, all the vegetables are stuck to this cheese in your stomach, and your stomach can't break it down. So you can end up with all these allergies, all these stomach aches, all these pains, this high blood pressure, this diabetes, even cancer. Are y'all listening to me? I hope so. Ecclesiastes 10:17 says, "Blessed is the day that comes when thy princes eat in due season for strength and not for drunkenness." Folks, you know what I'm talking about. You sit down at the table, everybody's sitting there around the table, man, and they're just eating everything. And when they get through, everybody's looking like they've been drinking vodka and the best wine. Are y'all getting this? What's happening is the food is making you drunk because it's so heavy, the body can't break it down. Leviticus 17:11 says that the life of the flesh is in the blood, so your body is using all that blood to try to digest that food from your mouth to your anus. It's working, and you don't have enough blood for your head. You can't think well, so you feel drugged and drunk and high as if you've been on coke cocaine. Are you getting this? So thy princes need to eat in due season for strength, which is what we call the glad diet, and not for drunkenness, which is the sad diet. By the way, the sad diet, SAD, is the standard American diet, and the glad diet is the God life activating diet. Those of you who have just come on the call, my name is Dr. Franco Taylor. I am the medical director for Sankey Global USA, and we're talking about the simple remedies from God, 8 of them, but today we're talking about 2, eating and drinking, and how your whole life will turn around. Your health will get better. If you just follow these 2, eating is one, drinking is the other, and then add to that the Sankey Fit formulas, you can't lose, as I always say with the stuff we use. So from sad to glad, the standard American diet, God's life activating diet, which is a plant-based diet. Look at the standard American diet, folks. White bread, lots of ice cream and cake and cookies and all that, and lots of animal products, okay? So it's high in protein, but it's low in nutrients. All this are calorie products, but have no nutrition. By the way, when I take those breaks to drink, I'm drinking Balage. But this is the standard American diet, or the SAD diet. Refined sugars and starches contain empty calories, no nutrients, okay? No fiber in meat, no fiber in flesh, no fiber in eggs, no fiber in cheese. You wonder why your bowels won't move? Look at what you're eating. Again, eating foods with a face is not God's design for the human face, for the human race. So I want to show you something. When God gave man fruit, nuts, grains, and vegetables, something happened. Before the flood, guess what? Adam was 930 years, Seth 912, his son Enos 905, his son Canaan 910, Mahalalel 895, Jared, his son 962, Enoch was his son, he walked with God. Methuselah lived to be 969, Lamech 777 years, Noah lived to be 950 years. This was the average lifespan. Looking at the genealogy in the Bible, they lived almost to be 1,000 years before the flood. But after the flood, something happened. God allowed man to eat animals because he was eating so much of them anyway. Then God told him what kind to eat. Okay, so let's look at the 10 generations after the flood. This is powerful, folks. Noah lived to be 940. We saw that on the previous page, previous slide. But his son Shem, look at this carefully, only lived to be 600 years. Shem's son Arphaxad only lived to be 438 years. His son Selah, 433. His son Eber, 464. Eber's son Peleg dropped all the way to 239. Peleg's son Serug, 230 years. Nahor, 148 years. Terah lived to be 205. And his son Abraham only lived to be 175 years. So y'all getting me? The average lifespan after the flood was only 300 years as opposed to 900. And what was the difference? They were allowed to eat animal products. So the animal products did what? It shortened their existence. Now, we know that animal foods came into existence the time of the flood, and we're going to skip over that. And again, they were given restrictions. We were told not to eat it with the blood, not to eat it with the fat, not to eat it, but to eat it within 3 days. Again, we've talked about all the disease-causing situations when you're eating the animal products. So we're going to move forward. But again, cancers, tumors, pulmonary disease are largely caused by what? Meat eating. So you see here on the tombstone, it says rest in peace. No, it doesn't. It says rest in grease. That's what's killing us. From the 70s up to now, we've eaten so much animal products, 4, 5, sometimes 6, 7 times a day, till it's really taking us out. Rest in grease. Again, God's life activating diet is fruit, nuts, grains, vegetables. They're low in fat, they're high in fiber, they're low in protein, and they're high in nutrients. Protein mainly comes from nuts and avocados and seeds and grains, okay? Again, the original diet was the one God gave in the beginning. Genesis, he gave us the fruit, nuts, grains, and vegetables in Genesis 1:29. And in Genesis, the 3rd chapter, he added the vegetables to that. So fruit, nuts, grains, and vegetables was the diet that God intended for us to have. So the only food categories not linked to any major diseases are fruit, nuts, grains, and vegetables. So they give us the fiber that we need to fight disease. So those associated with low fiber diet, we've talked about a little bit: constipation, appendicitis, diverticular disease, colon polyps, heart disease, varicose veins, hemorrhoids, bowel cancer, gallbladder disease. Again, what are good sources of fiber? Whole grains, whole oat, whole barley, whole wheat, seeds, fruit, all of them, vegetables and legumes. This is the source of fiber to help those bowels move, to take the disease out of the body. We'll go back another time and look at how much they contain. But again, right now, I just wanted you to. So the superior diet is the fruit nut grains diet, simply because it has zero cholesterol, low saturated fat, high fiber, zero animal protein, zero of that excess iron that we get in our bodies, rich in antioxidants, rich in folic acid and B6, promotes weight control. Okay, now we're going to go to the next scripture, which is the intake of plenty of water, found in Ezekiel 4:11. In Ezekiel 4:11 in the Bible, we read in Ezekiel 4:11 that God gave us another command. The first one, he told us what foods to eat, but in Ezekiel 4:11, here in the Bible, we see a scripture that simply says, "Thou shalt drink also water by measure." This won't be long. Just pay attention to me quickly. Thou shalt also drink water by measure. What did he say? Thou shalt also. That's a command. Thou shalt. He didn't say if you please. So that's a command, not a 10 commandment, but a command from God. And he said, if you keep all my commandments, you won't get sick. We just saw the foods. We saw why the animal products are making us sick. Now let's look at the water that we drink, or the liquids that we drink. We should have an intake of plenty of water. This is found in Ezekiel 4:11. And we just read it. I just quoted to you. He says, thou shalt drink also water by measure. The sixth part of an hin from time to time shalt thou drink. That's the scripture. So I went into it and looked at it. I didn't have to Google it. I read it. And I asked each phrase what it meant. So God is saying you should drink a measured amount of water every day. Then he tells you how much. The sixth part of a hin. What is a hin? Well, H-I-N, it's not a, it's not that, okay? That's H-E-N. But H-I-N is a measure of water. It's called a bath of water. It's actually, it's 1.5 gallons of water, or 6 quarts. So a hin is 6 quarts. And the scripture I quoted said, drink 1/6 of a hin. So if a hin is 6 quarts and you're going to drink 1/6 of that, how many is that? That's 1. So it says drink 1/6 of a hin, and that's 1 quart. And it says from time to time shalt thou drink it. So if you drink it from this time, listen to me, people, and you drink it another time from time to time, that's 2 times. That's 2 quarts. How much water is that? How many glasses? You got it. It's 8. How many glasses have the doctors been telling you to drink for the last 60, 70 years? 8 glasses. I'm glad that the doctors found out and caught up in 2020. We'll say in 1950, they caught up. But my God, the Creator gave me the information from the prophet Ezekiel 4,000 years ago. Are y'all paying attention to this? We're talking about that manual, that owner's manual, that shows us that we should drink at least 8 glasses of water a day, okay? And actually the measure should be that you drink half of your body weight in ounces of distilled water every day, because, or pure water, because some of us weigh more than others. A woman weighing 25 pounds, if you divided that in half, that would be 64. And 64 is actually 8 glasses. So suppose you had a guy that weighed 200 pounds. She weighs 125, he weighs 200. Well, if you divide the 200 in half, you've got 100, which is 100 ounces, or 3 quarts. So if you're a Ford Echo, we've got a little Ford Echo here, and we've got a big Ford Excursion over here. Both of them use water. Which one of them uses the most water? The Excursion. Can you drive the Excursion on Echo water? You could for a little while, but what would happen? The engine would blow up. It would come out of the hoses would pop and burst, and the radiator would explode because it's overheating. Are you getting this? So as a human being, you drink half of your body weight in ounces of distilled water. Now, I'm going to take about 2 or 3 minutes. Pay attention to this. Take copious notes. Write this down so you can see how water works in our body and how fearfully and wonderful the body is made. Okay, water. Your body is between 70 and 80% water. Water is the key to all bodily functions. your circulatory system, your assimilation system, digestion system, elimination system, temperature control is all controlled by water. Your brain is over 75% water. Your heart is 75% water. Lungs, 86% water. Kidneys, 83% water. Muscles, 75%. Your blood is 83%. Even your bones are 27% water. Folks, you need water. Your kidneys, if you did not have kidneys, you would have to drink over 800 glasses of water a day. Are you looking at those glasses? Okay. If you didn't have kidneys, that's what you'd have to drink in order to recycle water through the bloodstream and keep the organs working like they're supposed to. If you did not have kidneys to recycle water in your body, again, you would have to drink over 800 glasses each day. The heart circulates its 5 quarts of blood about every minute. That's right. The body can move 8 quarts of blood completely through the body every minute. This means that every day the heart pumps about 8,000 quarts, of which 2,000 go to the kidneys. Most of this blood goes to nourish the kidney structures, the adrenals, and other surrounding tissues. All of your microbiome in your body is drenched in this water that the body is recirculating. 200 quarts of the 2,000 are passed through the 1.25 million microscopic filtering units, the glomeruli, in each kidney. Again, the microbiome of the kidney, you've got over 1.25 million microscopic filtering units, okay, which make up the microbiome of the kidney, and it has to have water, okay? Cartilage cells between the bones, listen, are immersed in water. It lubricates the joint. It is the world's greatest solvent is water. And most of you drink Coke, coffee, tea, Budweiser. I'm sorry, I know you all don't drink Budweiser, but you're drinking everything except for water, folks, and you wonder why the cartilage is giving out in your bones. If we do not drink enough water, the body will have to take it from other areas. The body has to get that water. It's going to get it from somewhere, so it takes it from the blood, from the bones, from the liver, from the skin, from the colon. Are you getting this? From the brain even. You can't think because the body had to pull water from the brain and from the rest of the cells of the body, and the body begins to form what? Dis-ease, because there's not enough water to keep it clean, to keep it circulating, to keep blood in, to keep food in, keep nutrients in, and to get the waste out. You got to have water, folks. So start each morning by drinking 8 ounces of glasses of warm water. 2 8-ounce glasses or 16 ounces of lukewarm water. You put your barrage in it, and you have just started your day by giving your body a complete body flush. All right. Hydrotherapy means that you can use water where? On the outside. Are y'all getting this? You can use it on the outside also. It helps to remove congestions, colds, bronchitis, and other respiratory diseases. And it helps with stiff and sore muscles, bones, and joints. Water inside and outside. All right, I'm going to stop sharing here, and we're going to put up something else. We're going to put up enough. But again, those 2 prescriptions were what? They were the B in Bible way, which is eating the best food in combination. Not the only food, but the best food is lots of fruits, nuts, grains, and vegetables in a natural state. Christina, are you working on that for me, please? And then water, of course, which is so very, very, very important that we drink water. And you saw there that a minimum of 8 glasses of water sends over 800 glasses through the body every day, and that the heart can circulate over 200 of those glasses every single minute. You need water. So let's talk about the Sankey Fit formulas. Food, nutrition, drinking your water is very, very important. But let's talk about the Hasaki. The Hasaki, okay, that's this fella here. And by the way, I got news for all of my vegetarian and vegan friends out there, all my followers. Right now, a vegan formula is being worked on, which will soon be out for us to get to you. And we're all waiting on that. So just know that it's on the way. It's on the way. It is on the way. But the Hasaki, it reads here that we give you what? It nourishes the microbiota or the microbiome in your body, starting at your mouth, ending in your anus. All those trillions and trillions of microscopic microbes are literally absorbing nutrition from the body. And if we put all the dead animals in, all the eggs, all the milk, what are they getting? They're getting nothing. It's like putting kerosene in your car. Kerosene is fuel, but it's not the right octane of fuel for your car. So your car sputters and and your car dies because you're putting the wrong octane of fuel. But what happens when you put the dead flesh of animals, eggs, the fetus of an animal? You know that an egg is simply an aborted baby chicken. You're putting that in. I'm not saying you can't eat it, but think about what you're putting into the body. But instead, the Hasaki puts in over 596 metabolites. That's what happens when the food is digested properly. It's made. That's after metabolism. God's life-activating diet gives them to you, but Hasaki comes and gives them to you until you start eating right. So it puts over 596 of these metabolites in. It's putting in the enzymes that the body needs, helping with the antioxidants that the body needs, okay? It helps up the protein absorption by over 20%. That's Hasaki, folks. It's a meal enhancement, not replacement, enhancement, okay? It helps with the oxidation of fat. All of our formulas and their nano capabilities are designed to help with thermogenesis. That's helping the body to burn fat tissue, okay? And again, that gives you what? Energy to the trillions of mitochondria in the body. It starts your battery. It starts those cells that beat for energy in your body. Over 70% of your body is mitochondria, okay? That chondrial microsome, I'll call it microbiome, I'll call it, literally needs the foodstuffs, the nutrition that comes from a Hasaki, okay? We're going to skip over to inner 7. Inner 7, that's our minerals. All the 60 minerals that the body needs come from the Okinawa Ocean down over 3.5 miles, 321 meters down. You'll find these purified minerals are now placed into this inner 7 package. And when you take it, again, we said that one thing that happened was we needed to drink what? More water. Our body needed to be hydrated. The bones were messed up, the muscles, the joints, the tissues, no water, and the body started failing, okay? So inner 7 helps to do what? It helps to put more moisture into the body. Are you getting this? It helps the body to become hydrated. It helps with the natural defense mechanism. It helps to do what? Rebuild and reboot the immune system, the white cells, the leukocytes, lymphocytes, all of those. It helps balance the pH in the body, okay? The minerals help to balance the pH, take you to a 7.5. That's what we call homeostasis. That's right down the middle where the body is on what we call automatic pilot, AUT-O-matic. It's doing its own thing. And then it helps to do what? It helps with relaxation and revitalization. Revitalization simply because the blood is flowing the way that it's supposed to at the microcellular level. The moisture is in the body. The minerals are doing what they're supposed to do to help strengthen bones, to help with digestion, to help with the removal of food, to help the organs do what they're supposed to do. And then it recovers your body's essential minerals. We have demineralization in our body because of the poisons and toxins and rotted food that we put in our body. Our lifestyles are destroying our minerals, okay? And inner 7 helps to put them back in to balance the body out. Then there's the quinui. The quinui does what? It helps with thermogenesis also. And because of the fibers that are in there, they come from the black bean and the cacao, it helps to absorb some of these calories and sugars and carbs, and it takes them straight through the body. Are you listening to what I'm saying? It keeps the stomach from going through all that antioxidation. It protects the stomach so that it doesn't go through. It gives what we call antioxidation. It keeps it from doing what it shouldn't do and burn in the arteries and the veins and get into our system. It's burned up in the stomach. So when you wake up in the morning, guess what? The fat's gone down, the sugars are gone down. So your sugar level is down, your blood pressure is down, and your what? And your digestive tract is doing what it's supposed to do. Waistline is down, and you're feeling like new money. Helps you to sleep better. Again, it's doing what? Causing what? More blood flow. And that causes the thermogenesis. Again, it burns up that excess fat, burns up that caramelized fat, burns up those unnecessary carbs and sugars and starches so that your body begins to reboot. Your cardiovascular system falls in line and your heart, your blood pressure goes down. So now we're going to go back to the Balaj. We kind of skipped over this, and then we're going to end and open for a few questions. But again, the Balaj, the #1 formula that Dr. Bahia Diaz put together, researched, and developed starting 50 years ago. It's been around for 40 years. It's been in existence for us people to actually use for 10 years, 11 now. But the bottom line, Belage does something too. It brings over 300 of these metabolites that were in the Hasaki into the body. It helps the body to have what we call a morning flush. When you take it in the morning, it goes straight into the immune system, straight down into the cell walls. It goes straight through the cell walls at the microcellular level. It goes straight through the blood-brain barrier, straight into the body, flushing, increasing the moisture, the water, the hydration in the body. It causes the antioxidants to kick into full gear. It energizes the body. It energizes the mitochondria, okay, producing energy naturally for the body. It increases blood circulation. Leviticus 17:11 here in the Bible tells us that the life of the flesh is in the blood. Isn't it funny that man is now finding out that blood circulating through? That's why people are on dialysis, because they haven't had enough water. They've had too much grease, fat, and other poisons in their body. The poor kidney isn't getting what it needs. But if we had drank more water, we'd use Belage to hydrate the kidney and the rest of the system, even the bones, we would be doing much, much better. So we can start today using the Belage to do what? Hydrate the body at the cellular level. I'm getting ready to hydrate. That's wonderful stuff, folks. Doesn't even have, it's sweet and delicious, lemon, lime, everything is from the plant-based. Even the sweetness is stevia. So everything is plant-based here. So again, it improves blood circulation at the microcellular level. It hydrates the body at the cellular level. So that's that we're talking about energy production. We're talking about getting antioxidants to do what? Help to give you the energy that you need, to help replace tissue, damaged tissue, and to remove waste. All that's in the Belage. All that's in the Inner 7, Quinu, and Hasaki. So our 4 formulas are designed to help with those first 2 things that we talked about, getting the nutrition that you need from the natural plant-based diet. Well, you're getting that with our formulas, with the Hasaki. All of these come from the plant-based, from our own farms. They're grown. So from the time they go in the ground to the time you open a package like this and you rip it off and you put it in your water, when you do that, everything, packaging, everything happens from Sankey. So we know what we know, what we know. We know that what's in these formulas is what we intended to be in there. And we've got white paper and we've got manuals to prove that they do everything they said they do. The only company of this type with formulas of this type. You can't lose with the stuff you use when you join hands with Sankey.